So, what happens next? Where do we go from here? What happens beyond this meeting here, the March and April session? What happens in the fall? Same thing, repeat of March. But what happens next year? What's the next best step? Well, the next best step in looking ahead is that we are talking about increasing the number of classes per year. You know, we met with all of the regions and the area folks. And one of the things we talked about when we said we're only offering 2 classes this year, one in the spring, one in the fall, almost across the board is we've got to get this information out faster and sooner and into the hands of more people. How do we do that? Well, we're going to have to look at doing more classes. Well, in order to do that, we have plenty of candidates. I don't know how many names you received, Mr. Woodham, and your group that made the final decision on the selection, but
we accommodated all of them in the first 2 classes.
Okay.
Which was I was going to say. For those that you get the call for nominations to submit people, you need to really, especially after you've been a part of this, you need to think about having a list of them. Because if we go to 3 and 4 classes a year, we're going to teach them all. And that's the goal of it. So y'all be thinking about that. Who, you know, maybe a candidate that's just on the verge of, well, you don't know whether he'll be a good leader or not. Send him on. You'll be surprised.
Yep.
All right.
Great point. Because they're untapped in most cases. They really are. Nobody's challenged them to step outside of that little box that they're living in and become the leader that really is inside them. So thank you for that. And be thinking ahead, all of you, about who your next candidates will be. But you know what? In order to make 3 or 4 classes work, we need more facilitators than this. And so part of the thought process is, as we walk through this process, and as we've had some of these candidates that will be going through our training, has also been through the ITE training. And so they become really good candidates to become facilitators. Guess what? I learned this a long time ago about teaching the Bible, teaching Sunday school, is that nobody grows like the teacher. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. So as you learn this information, as you teach this information, you're going to be sharp. You're going to be better than you ever thought you would be in that process. So we have a plan, 3, 4 classes a year. We have plenty of candidates that will be available. We need facilitators. And again, no one grows like the teacher. So we will be constantly enlisting and training more facilitators as we go along. And so I want to leave you with this here. What is the vision? Where are we headed? What do we want to see happen? Well, guess what? Each one of you in this room have achieved amazing levels in your careers. Amazing levels. I like when people ask me, well, what do you do? I'm a state bridge construction administrator. I've exceeded my education. I have a lot of experience that gets me where I want to be. I've achieved the maximum I believe I'll ever achieve as far as working for ALDOT. And I am thankful for that. I'm at an amazing level of responsibility. And I love it. I love what I get to do. And many of you, I've worked for some of you guys, and I know you love what you get to do. And so, with that being in mind, what do we do? Well, here's what we do. We multiply yourselves by doing something greater than yourselves. I wish I had someone's name to put there for that, but that's my quote. So, you know how quotes work, don't you? You hear it, you remember who said it, you write it down, you repeat it. And after repeating it 2 or 3 times, you forget who wrote it, and then later on it becomes your quote. So there's my quote. But I have a better quote than that I want to leave you with, and I think this is really fantastic. Anybody know who that is? That is Mr. Firestone, the one who developed the Firestone. I want to leave you with an amazing quote of his here. And this is what it says. And this is where we are, guys and ladies. This is where we are. The growth and the development of people is the highest calling of leadership. So multiply yourselves. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to Ashley at this time.